Thank you for coming back to our channel, Legends Leaving. We made a list of the famous actors who died today and put it in this memorial video. Those famous people who will be missed but who made important contributions to their works have sadly died today. I'm sorry for the family and all the fans lost. Take a break. Thank you for watching our movie. If you want to show your love, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Jack Patrick Russell was an American rock singer who was born in Montebello, California. On December 5th, 1960, he was best known for being the lead singer and one of the founders of the popular 1980s hard rock band Great White. Russell's love of music was clear from a young age. Bands like Led Zeppelin who had a big impact on him. Along with bassist Mark Kendall, he started the band Dante Fox in 1977. It changed its name to Great White in 1981. The name of the band came from Kendall's nickname, which comes from his light blonde hair. Great White had some success with their record Great White in 1984, but it was Once Bitten in 1987 that really made them famous. The album had a hit song called Rock Main, which showed off Russell's strong vocals and the band's blues-influenced rock sound. Their massive success continued with the album Twice Shy in 1989, which had the #1 hit Once Bitten, Twice Shy. Russell's unique voice became linked to Great White's signature style, and the band had a string of great tours and albums in the late 1980s and early 1990s. However, tragedy struck the band in 2003 when a fire broke out at a Great White show at the Station Bar in West Warwick, Rhode Island. 100 people died in the fire, which was started by explosives used in the show. Many others were hurt. Russell was greatly affected by what happened. He went to court and dealt with guilt and depression afterward. Even after the tragedy, Russell kept playing with different versions of Great White and worked on separate projects. He showed how versatile he was as a musician by putting out solo records like For You in 2002 and Shelter Maid in 1996. Russell had a lot of health problems in his later years, including back injuries and drug problems. Even with these problems, he stayed committed to his music and kept touring with his band, Jack Russell's Great White, which was a different version of the band he started after getting into legal trouble with his old bandmates. Jack Russell died on August 15, 2024. He was 63 years old. Fans of Great White and hard rock music saw the end of an era when he died. People recognize him for his strong voice, his charisma on stage, and the important things he did for rock music. 5. Gataivas The Samoan-American manager and wrestler Afa Amituanaʻi was born on November 21, 1942 in American Samoa. Professional wrestling's Afa Anoaʻi was a big deal. He was best known for being one half of the famous tag team, the Wild Samoans, with his brother Leati, Sika Anoaʻi. Afa grew up in a traditional Samoan home and learned to value the things that were important to his culture. These values would later shape his wrestling persona. Afa started wrestling in the late 1960s, after coming to the United States. He trained under Peter Mavia, who was also a famous Samoan wrestler and a family member. Early in his career, he wrestled in a number of area promotions. However, it was his teamwork with his brother Sika that made him famous all over the world. During the 1970s and early 1980s, Afa and Sika were one of the most feared and famous tag teams in professional wrestling. They went by the name the Wild Samoans. They were known for being wild and uncontrolled. They would often go into the ring barefoot and use strange moves to scare their opponents. Their unique style, along with their natural speed and charm, made them the best tag team in the business. Many titles were won by the Wild Samoans, including 3 times winning the WWF Tag Team Championship. Because of how well they did, they became one of the best tag teams of all time and paved the way for future Samoan fighters. The Anoaʻi family became one of the most important families in wrestling, and AFA was a big part of how that happened. In addition to what he did in the ring, AFA also helped shape the future of the wrestling business by being a teacher and mentor. In the 1980s, he opened the Wild Samoan Training Center, where he taught many future stars, such as Batista, Rikishi, and his nephews, the Usos. The wrestling community had a lot of respect for him because he worked hard to teach and develop new talent. AFA had an impact on more than just the physical side of wrestling. He was known for teaching his kids discipline, respect, and how important it is to be proud of their culture. Afa Anoaʻi died on August 16, 2024. He was 81 years old. Lots of people in the wrestling world will miss him because he was not only a well-liked talent, but also a respected teacher and old-timer in the business. Because he taught so many wrestlers, and because the Wild Samoans had such an important effect on professional wrestling, Afa's legacy lives on. People remember him as a leader who took Samoan culture to the forefront of wrestling and as the head of one of the most famous wrestling families in history. 4. His real name was Justin Riley, and he was a rapper and music artist from Houston, Texas. He was born on November 24, 1984. He became well known in the Southern hip-hop scene for the funky beats, catchy hooks, and funny words in his songs. Because B. King's music often mixed Southern rap with club songs, people called him Club God in the early 2000s. He started making music and got noticed in his home country with mixtapes that showed off his unique style and ability to make catchy party songs. His big break came in 2010 when his album Gangsta Stripper Music came out. It made him known as the go-to act for club hits. B. King put out a number of popular albums over the years that fans in Houston and beyond really liked. Within 2020, B. King became well known when his song Then Leave featuring Quindom Come went popular. Because of its simple beat and catchy chorus, the song quickly went viral on TikTok, where millions of users made videos to its catchy beat, Then Leave. Made B. King famous across the country, which led to collaborations with other famous artists and solidified his position as a major player in the rap business. Even though he became famous, B. King stayed very close to his roots in Houston. He often used his fame to promote the city's culture and help up-and-coming artists. His work ethic and the fact that he was an independent artist who worked in the business on his own terms won him respect from his peers. Along with his music, B. King was known for writing funny and sometimes sexy songs that showed who he was and how he felt about music. He was great at making songs that were both fun and meaningful, and he often used real-life events in a way that was funny and easy to relate to. Many bars and parties played his music, which made him a well-liked figure in the nightlife scene. B. King passed away on August 15, 2024, at the age of 39. People in the music business were shocked by his death, especially in Houston, where he was known as a hero. Rap fans and fellow artists alike were saddened by the death of a unique voice in the genre. He had a big effect on rap music with his unique sound and unique attitude. B. King's music will continue to inspire and entertain people for years to come, so his impact will be felt. 3. Chris Gregory Keene, better known as Greg Keene, was born in Baltimore, Maryland on July 10, 1949. Keene loved music from a very young age. He learned to play the guitar and started writing songs when he was a teenager. He went to California in the early 1970s after graduating from high school. The lively music scene in the Bay Area inspired him to become a rock musician. Folk rock and the new punk movement were some of Keene's early musical inspirations. They all helped him create his own unique sound. The Greg Keene Band was formed by Keene in 1976. The band was famous for its upbeat shows and catchy songs. The band quickly signed with the Berserkly Records label after getting a lot of fans in the Bay Area. The band's big break in the early 1980s was due to Keene's songwriting skills and his ability to make pop rock songs. Their biggest hits, the breakup song They Don't Write AM in 1981 and Jeopardy in 1983, were played on the radio all the time and made Keene a famous name in power pop and rock music. One of their songs, Jeopardy, got to No. 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, which was the height of their financial success. Keene's singing career took off, but he also tried his hand at other kinds of art. He started writing horror and thriller books in the 1990s. He had always liked this type of writing. People liked his books like Horror Show and Big Rock Beat, which showed how good he was at telling stories in different ways. From being a musician to writing novels, Keene showed how versatile he was and how he could fascinate people in a variety of forms. Keene was well known in the San Francisco Bay Area for his work in radio and books as well as music and writing. He was the host of the morning show on KFOX for more than 10 years. His interest in rock history and his friendly nature made him a fan favorite. Keane's work on the radio made him even more of a culture icon in the area by bringing together music, literature, and broadcasting. He was 75 years old when he died on August 13, 2024. For many people who grew up listening to his songs and reading his books, his death was the end of an era. Keane had a huge impact on rock music, especially in the 1980s. His gifts to the arts were praised by both fans and artists who worked with him. People remember him not only for his #1 hits, but also for how he changed as an artist and found new ways to connect with fans across multiple channels. Many people still remember Greg Keane as a singer, writer, and radio host, which shows how much he changed American pop culture. 2. Wallace Amos Jr., who was born on July 1st, 1936 in Tallahassee, Florida, is better known as Wally Amos. As a child, he lived in a simple home and was mostly raised by his Aunt Della. Her delicious homemade cookies made him love baking. Amos moved to New York City to live with his dad when he was 12 years old. He later went to the Food Trades Vocational High School there. Amos worked as a star agent at the William Morris Agency after leaving the U.S. Air Force to work in the entertainment business. He hired and worked with well-known groups like Simon Garfunkel and the Supremes while he was there. Around the middle of the 1970s, Amos turned his lifelong love of baking into a business. For his own brand, Famous Amos, he used his Aunt Della's cookie recipe. He opened the first Famous Amos cookie shop in Los Angeles, California in 1975. His delicious chocolate chip cookies quickly became famous and praised by many. The brand went viral across the country, and Wally Amos became a familiar name thanks to his famous straw hat, charming personality, and contagious smile. Even though Amos was successful, he had money problems, and in the late 1980s, he lost control of the Famous Amos name. Despite this setback, he kept going as a business and started other cookie brands such as Aunt Della's Cookies and the Cookie Kahuna. Both of these brands paid tribute to his roots and love of baking. In addition to running his own businesses, Wally Amos was a strong supporter of reading and writing. He was the host of the TV show Learn to Read, which was for adults, and tried to fight illiteracy in the U.S. Amos cared a lot about education and used his fame to stress how important it is to read and keep learning throughout your life. He also wrote a number of books over the years, including his autobiography, Man with No Name Turned Lemons into Lemonade in 1994, in which he talked about his life and how to deal with problems. He was 88 years old when he died on August 13, 2024. The person died because of problems after having a stroke. The man's death marked the end of an age. He had made an indelible mark on American society through his drive to succeed, his dedication to literacy, and his unwavering optimism. Future businesses and teachers are still inspired by Wally Amos's work. He taught them the value of hard work, creativity, and the simple joy of sharing a cookie with everyone. Margaret Moffett was born in Los Angeles, California on May 14, 1940, and was an American model and actor. When Moffett became famous in the 1960s, it was because of her unique style, which went against the rules of beauty at the time. Rudi Gernreich was a famous and forward-thinking fashion designer who she worked closely with. Gernreich was known for his unique designs and groundbreaking approach to fashion. The work that Moffett did with Gernreich was especially important because she inspired many of his most famous works. The bold, future style of Gernreich's designs became linked to her signature look, which included a lot of makeup and an uneven haircut. Because of her unique style, she stood out in the fashion world and was soon sought after as a model, showing in many well-known magazines and fashion shows. Additionally to modeling, Moffett also tried her hand at acting, but she was mostly recognized for her work in the fashion business. She kept changing ideas about dress and beauty well into the 1960s and beyond. She was 84 years old when she died on August 10, 2024. Heart disease problems killed the person. As a fashion star and style pioneer, she left a lasting mark. Christopher Walken is a famous American actor who was born Ronald Walken on March 31, 1943 in Queens, New York. He is known for his unique voice, odd habits, and wide range of parts in movies, TV shows, and plays. As a child actor in the 1950s, Walken started his career. He became famous slowly but surely with roles in movies like Pulp Fiction 1994 and The Deer Hunter 1978, for which he got an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. He has played serious, comedic, and bad guys in a lot of different movies, which makes him one of the most versatile actors in Hollywood. As of 2024, Walken is still working in the entertainment business, though he has been less busy lately. Even though he is getting older, Walken has been able to keep his health pretty good and keeps taking on parts that show off his unique skills. He hasn't talked about any big health problems in public, which shows how long he's been working in a demanding field. Walken has been a beloved figure in American cinema for a long time because he can bring a unique energy to every part. Because of what he did in the movie business, he is now a true culture icon.